Have you ever felt like someone was controlling your truth, leaving you trapped in uncertainty and turmoil? Manipulation tactics hide in different parts of our lives, from personal bonds to job places, often disguised in subtle and deceitful ways. In the complex dance of human contact, seeing manipulation tactics is most important for guarding one's freedom and emotional wellness. In this episode, we dive into the depths of manipulation through the lens of wise sayings, unraveling its intricate workings and offering understandings for navigating its dangerous waters. 1. Gaslighting, the quiet saboteur. Gaslighting, the quiet saboteur, works secretly, leaving victims trapped in a web of psychological confusion. This manipulation tactic is like a dark art, where the perpetrator skillfully chips away at the foundations of the victim's truth. It shows itself in subtle yet damaging ways, such as the gaslighter disagreeing with the victim's memories or subtly questioning their perceptions. Over time, the victim may find themselves trapped in a maze of self-doubt, their once clear understanding of truth now twisted. Think of the symbolic chess game where the gaslighter moves pieces on the board strategically, controlling perceptions and twisting the truth. The victim becomes a pawn in this psychological game, uncertain of the motivations and intents that rule their truth. It's similar to a magician's illusion, where truth is a finely made trick, and the gaslighter is the illusionist pulling the strings. Gaslighting often grows in personal bonds, where trust is most important. Picture a bond where one partner methodically questions the other's confidence and perception of events. In this emotional battleground, the gaslighter may use manipulation like a weapon, wearing away the victim's self-trust. It's a subtle wearing away, like the slow but steady erosion of a cliff by the relentless waves, leaving behind a damaged sense of self. Gaslighting often reflects the view shared in George Orwell's 1984, where truth is controlled by those in power. The gaslighter becomes the all-powerful expert, rewriting the victim's story to match their plan. The victim, similar to Winston Smith in Orwell's frightening world, struggles with a twisted truth where their memories are questioned, and the truth becomes a bendable idea. In breaking free from the control of gaslighting, people must see the tactics used against them. By bringing light to the tricky strategies, victims can begin to reclaim their truth and break free from the web of deception. It is a journey towards self-power, where the victims rediscover the strength of their own perceptions and reclaim their clarity from the quiet saboteur. 2. Love bombing. Love bombing, a false allure disguised as affection, lures its prey with promises of worship and devotion. Yet underneath the facade lies a planned trick, meant to control emotions and take advantage of weaknesses. Remember, all that glitters is not gold. Love bombing is a false tactic used to overwhelm someone with affection, praise, and attention to gain control or emotionally manipulate them. The wise saying reminds us that looks can be false and urges caution against being swayed only by outward shows of affection. Love bombers often use extravagant gestures and declarations of love to create an illusion of closeness and safety, covering underlying motivations or manipulative intents. Just like a sweet apple may hide a worm, love bombing can disguise its harm with a coating of sweetness. Historically, love bombing has been seen in different contexts, often with major consequences. One such example is the cult leader Jim Jones, who planned the famous Jonestown Massacre in 1978. Jones first attracted followers with seemingly real shows of affection, making a sense of unity and belonging. However, underneath this facade of love and acceptance, he used control and manipulation, ultimately leading over 900 people to a tragic end. This historical example stresses the dangers of becoming victim to the false charm of love bombing, highlighting the need for judgment and critical thinking when faced with seemingly overwhelming shows of affection. To further stress the sneaky nature of love bombing, think about the cautionary story of Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of Theranos. Holmes used love bombing tactics not in personal bonds, but in the business world. She won over investors and workers with grand promises of changing the medical industry with her new blood testing technology. However, as events unfolded, it became clear that her affectionate guarantees were a disguise for a massive fraud. Holmes' case serves as a strong reminder that love bombing is not limited to personal bonds. It can expand into job settings, manipulating people and groups with catastrophic results. In navigating bonds, whether personal or job-related, the lesson from history is clear: be cautious of the appealing but false nature of love bombing. 3. Guilt. Tripping and the silent treatment. In the complex dance of emotional manipulation, guilt, tripping, and the silent treatment appear as strong tactics, weaving an intricate tapestry of control. Guilt, tripping, a favored weapon of the manipulator, skillfully creates words to trap its victims in a web of duty and shame. This emotional blackmail forces agreement, with each phrase acting as a pull at the heartstrings. When a person is guilt-tripped, they often find themselves caught between their own wishes and the expectations put on them, struggling to break free from the chains of manipulation. For example, picture a case where a parent guilt-trips their child into giving up their own dreams to meet the parent's unfulfilled goals, instilling a sense of duty that stifles the child's freedom and self-expression. At the same time, the silent treatment, often explained by the wise saying, "Silence is often the loudest cry," serves as another tool in the manipulator's collection. This tactic includes the purposeful keeping back of contact, a form of punishment or control. The deep impact of silence is stressed by the wise saying, highlighting how the absence of contact speaks volumes and causes emotional distress. By using silence as a weapon, manipulators exert power, leaving their targets isolated, anxious, and desperate for making up or recognition. Think of a romantic bond where one partner uses the silent treatment as a way of showing control or expressing unhappiness, making an atmosphere of tension and uncertainty that wears away the base of trust and closeness. These manipulative strategies intertwine, forming chains of emotional blackmail that leave people tangled in a web of emotional control and distress. Understanding manipulation tactics empowers people to see and resist unfair influence, encouraging healthier bonds and keeping personal limits. Wise sayings serve as timeless wisdom, offering understandings into the workings of manipulation and guiding us towards judgment and self-protection. By following these wise lessons, we can navigate the intricacies of human contact with greater clarity, strength, and integrity. We're now accepting donations in the form of subscriptions to our channel to support our upcoming projects. Feel free to donate. It won't cost you anything, but will greatly boost our confidence in providing the best content for you. Thank you for your support.